You have the new Porsche Cayenne, which will have wireless charging up to 11 kilowatt and only amazingly 90% efficient. So you only lose 10% in the wireless charging. That is pretty incredible.
This video is brought to you by A Better Route Planner, the route planner for EVs. Hundreds of cars are supported. Choose your configuration, plan your route with the charging network that you want to prefer or charging networks that you want to avoid. If you're a premium member, you can use real-time weather forecast and traffic information, and you can also use A Better Route Planner in your car with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Use the link in the description to support the channel and use A Better Route Planner Premium for 30 days for free.
Here we have the Cupra Raval, the same as the ID Polo or ID2, but just the Cupra version. Good looking car. The form in the back is a bit more sporty. In the front I find it a bit more boring. The ID2, ID Polo looks in the front a bit better, but we have to see it in a good design, so we know that. So far I think it looks a lot like the Born, where the ID Polo doesn't look like the ID3 at all. And it's nice to be a bit closer. We'll have the same platform. It even has the Cupra tires on, the same as the Cupra Born. And we have pop-out door handles, the same as the Polo. Logo illuminated. Here I am, my first time, well, it's a lie, I saw it a few days ago. First time with the Volvo ES90, the first limousine of Volvo electric. Before they only had SUVs, and now we have a little limousine. Let's look. The front is totally the new design, the same as EX30, EX90. This car here is the Ultra, starts at 92,000 euros. That's some money. I'm guessing it has the same options that you can have in the EX90. Also very similar. We have the door handles that Polestar had, Polestar 3, charge port the same. We have moving of the door of the seats, look at that. And then we have seat ventilation and seat heating in the rear. That's cool. Yeah. You can do it. The trunk is not very deep, but it has a second floor, which is important. Otherwise you don't get far. And what do we have here? A nice interior. You can see that it has ventilated seats in the rear. That's awesome. That is awesome. Same mirrors as Polestar 3. Head-up display. Same sound system. Car is 800 volt battery system. It will have the same motors options as the EX90, so rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive or Ultra with the performance, up to 380 kilowatt. Let's look at the trunk a bit. So it's really not very, very deep. At least we have a second floor, but it's also not a lot of space. So the trunk is not the thing. And for me, it looks like the car is very, very high. Even though it's a limousine, the car still looks like it's very high, as a Polestar 2 also was. It really works that way. You have a button and then the seat goes back up and down. It's awesome. And we have the panoramic roof that can be not see-through or see-through. We have so much headroom, legroom. Headroom just a bit to the side, I'm almost touching. But nice interior.
Aber meiner Information nach ist die Kamera tatsächlich in der Schweiz. Und Fahrzeugen wird sich das ein bisschen ändern. Also ich glaube, das ist...
Still at the IAA, now I'm at Mercedes. We have the AMG GT XX here, the electric car that had so many records. If you haven't seen my news, So this car can charge with an average of 850 kilowatt. I was wrong, I thought it was a peak. No, it's an average of 850 kilowatt. And this guy just noticed me. He knew who I am, which is weird. And this car is still efficient and drives extremely fast. So they drove in 24 hours over 5,500 kilometers, and in 7 days over 40,000 kilometers. So once around the Earth. And it still had other records, but that I'm not familiar with. But still, amazing car that drove an average, or most of the time, over 300 kilometers an hour, charged a bit, and then drove again. Awesome. And somewhere in there we have the CLA Shooting Brake. So the new CLA with the 800 volt battery system, but now as a shooting brake, so you get a bit more space in the trunk, which is awesome. Not a gigantic car, but good size for the trunk. It has the typical Mercedes interior that I'm personally not a fan of. It's too much screen, too much color, too much going on. Not my thing at all, but it doesn't have to be my taste, right? Oh, that's a GLC. That's the new GLC. I didn't see from far, and there's way too many people. There's no way I can see anything. They have not enough space.
And here we are at Opel Vauxhall. This is the Opel Corsa GS Gran Turismo. Amazing. Here we have 800 horsepower, 800 Newton meters of torque, 2 motors, all-wheel drive, 2 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. If this car will really see the light of day, so come to customers, that's very doubtful. But still, it's just a concept. GSE.
BYD Dolphin Surf, the tiny new car they have out. The Dolphin is already small, and this is even smaller. Interesting color. Interior, what is that weird light in there? Oh, it looks good. It looks good. We have the R5 Turbo here. Interesting, interesting. 800 volt system. What Renault is doing here. And you can buy it. So this is not a concept. This is still a concept, but you can buy this car soon. That's a lot like the Corsa. R4 E-Tech electric, so a bit bigger than the R5. Looks like ID3 size, but we have the R5 right beside it, and you can see. Is it bigger? I think it's higher, it's more SUV-like, but the length is the same. Charge port on the left front, a bit more straight front than the R5. If the new vision concept, the new language that Hyundai wants to do with the concept that they just revealed. We have an Insta there as well, that's good. It's all about the side form that we want to see, which we can't because there are too many people here. get the form from here. I thought that's someone else. It's just a mirror. Very Scirocco-like, Volkswagen Scirocco. Details of this car. As always. Is someone sitting? No.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a simulation on.
Warte mal. Das ist reaktiv. Es gibt dort viel
Tires and brakes look good. EV9 GT, the powerful version of the EV9. All-wheel drive, lots of power, same battery, same charging, a bit stiffer suspension, I guess. I have to ask here if I can drive it at some point. That would be amazing. Just to see. I mean, it's total waste, this gigantic car, and then even more power. So you have even higher consumption. So the consumption on this car must be gigantic, which is understandable. Totally understandable. Let's look inside. What we have. We have the GT button that we always had in the normal EV6 GT as well. We have it as here also. Awesome. There's the EV2. Nice. The new concept EV2. That's a good looking car. It looks way better than the EV3. Maybe it's the paint that's matte. Well, that looks good. It totally has the design of the EV3, what Kia is doing right now. Now with the size it fits better. And then I have the PV5, a car that Matthias thought maybe he wants to get. A bit not gigantic battery. That's the only thing that I think is a bit negative with this car. So much space, not a lot of power, and not a big battery, but gigantic trunk. The trunk space is enormous, that's nice. And even on these seats, tiny display, totally different display than we have in the other EVs. Power is so good. Where in the others we have real buttons for climate and everything. Here it's all on the screen, totally different. That's interesting. EV4. Seen that in Frankfurt already, but this is not the GT version then. I still think EV4 is a nice car. Something different, especially from the front. Different form. It could be an interesting car, we just have to try it. Whereas the EV5 here is just the EV3 bigger. Typical SUV. We all get bored with SUVs. Everything is SUV. Come on. This is just better.
The Polestar 5. It had its world premiere at the IAA in Munich. The new sporty, very sporty car from Polestar. We get only all-wheel drive or all-wheel drive performance up to 650 kilowatt. That's a bit over 800 horsepower. 3.2 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. Top speed 250 kilometers an hour. The normal dual motor has a range of 670 kilometers. WLTP, battery capacity 112 kilowatt hours, usable 106, 800 volt battery system, the first car that has that from Polestar. 22 minutes from 10 to 80%, can charge with 350 kilowatt. The price, the dual motor starts at 120,000 euros. The performance is 143,000 euros. Design wise, I think from the side it looks okay. From the front it's really nice. The rear part is not so my thing. I don't know. It looks a bit weird from the rear. It's totally not my thing.